Hey, good morning, everyone. Well, um, it's May 2nd. Sorry, June 2nd. I'm always a month behind. I don't know what that is. It's June 2nd. It's about 10:30 in the morning, and we are at um, the Fern Cliff State Park, which is part of the Shawnee National Forest. Um, we're gonna do like about 10 miles of hiking, try to meet up with our group. We ran into some issues with finding the location and then getting gas and trying to find gas. But we're here now, and we're going to try to catch up with our group. And then after hiking, we'll have a little picnic. But I'll try to take some videos and some pics of the surrounding area. I heard this area is supposed to be really beautiful, and there's some really nice waterfalls. So we'll see. We'll get going, and we'll catch up with you guys later. All right, talk to you later. Oh, by the way, Shawnee National Forest, way at the southern tip of Illinois.
5 hours away.
Yeah, it's about 5 hours away driving near Marion, Illinois, in case you want to know. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
Ciao.
Well, during the hike, I let Stella get ahead of me, aka Caterpillar, but I wanted to stop and look at these trees that were just growing on top of this rock, and they just have their roots just coming down off this rock until it meets the ground, and that's where the roots dig deep into the ground and pull all the nutrients up for the tree, and that's how the tree survives on the rock. It was very interesting to see. But I hung back and I was trying to videotape as much as I could of the beautiful forest, because that's what the Fern Cliff State Park is. It's just a beautiful forest that just goes on and on and on for many miles. If you've never been there before, I highly recommend it. We did have some issues with some ticks. Ticks were prevalent. I mean, they were all over the place. So you have to be prepared for the ticks. There's just too many ticks involved in these areas, and you want to be prepared for them. We came across many of these rock formations that were left over from the last ice age. And if you look at them, they are just so smoothly carved by the water and the ice that was left over from the last ice age. That they make these really beautiful circular patterns, and you can see there's a lot of swirling that goes on in these rocks where the water was swirling in them, and it was just carving out a real nice circle in the rocks. But this was under the rock formation, and you could easily make a nice storm shelter underneath these rocks. It looks like a bunch of birds were also living in these little holes that that was left behind from the ice age. And so they just took up residence in there and made it their home. It was a beautiful place, and these rock formations were all over the place. And we came across a couple of other areas where they had caves. And you'll see later in the video that the caves are good enough to be shelters for man or animal, but it looks like many people have been living or walking through these caves and setting up camp there to get away from the rainstorms and whatnot. But they were crazy, beautiful formations of rocks that you can see were eroded by water from the last ice age, because this whole area was underneath water at one point. It was interesting to see. Again, this is the Fern Cliff State Park, which is part of the Shawnee National Forest. Stairs. This is how we get up on the trail, how we climb these bluffs. The elevator is here. This is a heck of a rock bluff. Pretty nice, very nice. You can see that some birds have been living up there, up in those little crevices. The one thing about going up is you're always going to go down somewhere along the way. See? Now we're going to go down. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so they're saying that this trail here has got a little bit of a strenuous climb. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the hills. And not just climbing hills, but also climbing like actual rappelling off of cliffs. That kind of climbing. Haven't seen it. Yeah, they're jumping right out of the water. Nice little lake. Looks like this trail is going to go around this little lake, but somewhere I think it's going to start going in to the woods so we can climb the hills. It was a nice lake. Nice little lake back there. It's filled with fishes. At least the little fishes I saw, but we did see a couple of big ones jump out of the lake. I used to like to do fishing, but not so much anymore. I more like to eat fish than try to catch them. I do have the patience, but not the time. How can you have patience without time, right? Now that we're in the shade, it's a little cool down here. Yeah, I see one right here. I don't see a lot of them. I don't think a bunch of people came. I'm thinking maybe about 10 to 15 fellow hikers. Look at this creek.
That's pretty cool.
It's flowing out to the lake. Well, we just climbed up where we can almost see over these trees. Let me spin this camera. Yeah, we just got through climbing a little bit, and
It's hard. This thing on my head, it's the bug buster.
it's keeping your heat in too, so you're gonna overheat.
And I need it because I don't want no bugs bothering me. Watch out. That's right.
No
That's
bugs,
right.
no bugs on you.
No bugs on me.
There may be bugs on you, but there ain't no bugs on me.
Ha.
There ain't no bugs on me. There may be
No
bugs on
you. It's a hot one
something
out
like
here.
that. Those dead trees.
That was part of the forest fire. All right. Let's keep on going. We need
There
to...
may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me.
Boom.
Yeah, we watch too much TV.
We are.
But not lately.
Lake.
We've been killing these trails. Or the trails have been killing us. Whichever way you want to look at it. But it's been fun. Back on the trail. We're actually on top of a bluff. We're walking around some overlooked bluffs. The lake that we walked around was down there somewhere. See if we can get to an opening. You can see.
Oh, look at the lake.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So there's the lake over there that we were walking around. Now we're above it, looking down. Okay, so a bench right in the middle of the trail. For what? In case these people get tired? Hikers don't get tired. They just get hungry.
Trail to lake.
Deer Ridge Campground. Should we go this way or follow the lake?
Follow the lake. That's a campground.
Okay,
That's not a trail.
okay. The captain says go this way.
Oh, we gotta go to the trail.
Captain Estella Ramos.
I'm Captain Ram.
She's the pathfinder.
I'm Captain Ram. That's what they're talking about, not to go to the edge.
Yeah.
Don't go to the edge, because I'm looking out for you. Look at that. That's what they're saying. Don't climb
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, it says that there's some very dangerous areas here, so you have to be careful to stay on the trail. Well, you know, when we were driving over here, Stella looked up an article about this state park. It's called the Ferncliff State Park. There's some waterfalls over here. Like this would be a waterfall because water flows from up there and it just flows down these rocks and it goes over and makes a nice waterfall. And what some people do, especially young kids, they like to go all the way up to the edge of the waterfall, not realizing that the water, when it's flowing over these rocks, creates a moss. And see, that's what is the green stuff that's on these rocks. That's dried up moss and algae. And it makes the rocks really slippery. So what they do is they come up to the edge and they go right over the edge. So last week, I think it was, right?
That's Sunday.
Last Sunday, some 22-year-old kid came to the edge and they had to take his body out of somewhere, maybe not here, but somewhere in this area, in this state park. They had to take his body out of the state park because he died at the fall.
This is called what, Fern?
Ferncliff State Park. God's country, I think. It's getting a little cloudy. I looked at the weather and they did not call for any rain. Just a partly sunny day. But looking down here, down there, that's about, my guess is about 200 feet down. We're pretty high up. You can see we're way above these treetops. And this tree right here, that's a tall one. I mean, that guy's at least 100 and something feet. More than 100 and something feet, closer to 200 feet. It's really tall. There's, I just saw that hawk poop on the trees. I don't know if you can see him. Here he comes right over me. Yeah, that's definitely a hawk. Small one. But anyway, this is still the state of Illinois. It's a state of Illinois state park. I can see some broken beer bottles, so must be a hangout for youngsters. I'm gonna walk over here to see if there's another overlook here. Luckily, there's no water flowing, so these rocks aren't slippery. But you can see the way the rocks just cracked in half. That's looking down the crevice of these two rocks. And that's looking down this bluff here. Anyway, I think we're going to get back to the trail and try to get down and try to meet up with our group. So I'll pick it up later. Look how nice it is over there. Back that way too. Okay. Well, we were hiking along and we came across this cave. This would be really cool for like getting out of the storm. It goes back there maybe about 75 feet or so. But pretty cool. Make a little campfire in there. And get out of the storm. That would be cool. So we're going down now off of the bluffs and back towards the oh, here's another cave. Back towards the picnic area. Yeah, this is pretty nice. It's interesting the way the rock has layers like that. It's all layered out from erosion, of course. It looks like this whole area was underwater at one time. That's what the rocks indicate. A lot of rocky trail sections here. Oh, that was a lot of climbing. A lot of rocks, a lot of boulders. Who put these boulders here? All right. Looks like there might be a campground down there at the bottom. Anyhow, we're still going down. I think we got about another mile before we get to our picnic area. But we're coming across these rocks and these rocky bluffs. They look really nice. No, this is still the trail.
How do we get down from here?
Yeah, good question.
And that's the trail down there?
Yeah.
Do I make a wrong turn?